Thanks to you, everything went a lot better this time. Thank you.
Really? So you really don't mind if I stay with you from now on?
Of course not. Actually, I don't know what I'd do without you. Even in the middle of battle, I feel relieved when I hear your voice. I hear you praising me all the time on the battlefield, like an excited child.
Are you kidding me, man?
What, are you kidding me?
You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
Are you kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Night Owl channel, and welcome to the series where we're counting down the top Dynasty Warriors characters as of the latest game. Number 76, we have Bao Sanniang, the third daughter of the Bao family, and is known as one of Guan Suo's wives within fiction. She originated from the Hua Guan Suo Juan, a tale in which Guan Suo is the main protagonist and instead known as Hua Guan Suo. Proud of her warrior training, she refused marriage until he defeated her in a duel, and her character is considered a direct homage to Hu Sanniang, a character from the novel Water Margin, who met her husband in a similar manner. Now, Bao Sanniang is probably the least amount of content that I can get from a character in this game. I'm not really sure of her point in any of the games, honestly, and she doesn't seem to have a lot of content around her. Really any cutscenes involve her except for her ending in Dynasty Warriors 9, but other than that, she pretty much is a background character, and she doesn't really have much input into most of the dialogue or, meetings and discussions of, future battles or anything like that. Of course, she has the affinity for Guan Suo since, she destines him to be her future lover, future husband, all that good stuff. But other than that, playing through, her story in Dynasty Warriors 7, 8, and 9, she didn't have a story in Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8, but she didn't really have much content around her. She wasn't an option to play in Dynasty Warriors 8 or 7, and the only way you can play her in those games was through the Conquest or the Ambition mode. Fun fact about Bao Sanniang, though, is she's the first playable character in the series to not draw inspiration from Romance of the Three Kingdoms or historical records, which is pretty cool to find out, but that's pretty much it. I also found out through research that she was the only character. The only reason that she was put into the game is so that Guan Suo could have a partner in the game. So it's kind of crazy that in Dynasty Warriors 7, when they built the Conquest mode, they wanted somebody to be Guan Suo's partner. So I guess because of Guan Suo's historical, records and, him having multiple wives, I guess they wanted to make one of them, a playable character, so that way, I guess he could have a partner. It's just crazy to believe that after Dynasty Warriors 7, her content is so minuscule, and the only real purpose that she served was, being Guan Suo's partner. And it's very evident in her cutscene at the end. It's very evident in, sometimes in the way she talks and stuff like that. Of course, she's very just like all the characters in the series, most of the characters in the series are very let's do this, guys. We can win this next battle coming up. Don't give up, all that hoorah stuff. But her sole purpose, it just seemed to be centered around Guan Suo. I'm actually surprised that she's above Guan Suo, perhaps just based on her weapon style or just the character look or who she is in general. Maybe some people gravitated towards her more than Guan Suo did, but she's 76. Guan Suo's down at 80th, I believe, and it's crazy to think that this character who has less content, way less content involved around her than Guan Suo, is actually higher up on the polls than Guan Suo. Let's take a look at the polls here, though, before we go any further. In the first popularity poll, Bao Sanniang received 399 votes out of a total of 75,000, putting her at a rank of 63rd. In the second poll, she ranks at 60th. And then in my personal ranking, she's down at 80th. Before I even played her, I didn't really notice her role. I didn't even know who she really was. I didn't really know what her purpose was in the game. I knew the name. I've seen her before, either through battle or, her being on my team, just seeing her name pop up or whatever. But I never really noticed or never really knew what her purpose was in the game. So not until I played her, did some research on her and stuff like that I found out that, she's Guan Suo's, wife and lover and all that stuff. But going back to her weapon style, in Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8, she has the spinner or the bladed yo-yo. It's a very interesting weapon. It's not the best weapon. I had a hard time with it when I first picked it up. It's kind of slow, and her EX attack left you kind of vulnerable for a few seconds as she kind of came out of it dazed. So it opened opportunity for people, if they close in fast enough, they can do some damage to you before you're ready to either defend or attack again. And then in Dynasty Warriors 9, they switch it up and give her the Mandarin duck hooks, which again, she pretty much has the exact same style from the first one, even though it's a different weapon style. Like her special attack is similar to her EX attack, and then her Musou attacks are the exact same as they were in Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8. Her Musou is a cat-like attack where she like pounces on them, kicks them up in the air, and then like kicks them from the air. It's an interesting attack. I mean, it wasn't, you know, it's there's not a lot of content I can really talk about her. I mean, she's just very, you know, minuscule in the games themselves. I mean, I can't complain about voice acting. She didn't really play a significant role in the beginning anyway, so voice acting is completely fine. Weapons we covered. Relationships, the only true relationship she has is with Guan Suo, and it's evident. Even in Guan Suo's ending, Bao Sanniang is actually part of it.
Well, if it's okay, could you help me try to select which flower to wear today?
Yes! I'd love to. I think I found the perfect one.
Oh,
And then in her ending, you know, she's also with Guan Suo. Again, her whole character is designed around Guan Suo, even though she's supposed to be the, you know, lighthearted, tomboyish, independent female character, because before she met Guan Suo, she was a free-spirited person who didn't want to be tied down by anyone. She wasn't impressed by most of the men she encountered, and she was especially offended when they didn't take her strength seriously, you know, when they referred to her as a little girl or whatever and stuff like that. But until she ran into Guan Suo, and, you know, until she, you know, became part of the Shu army, because she wasn't part of the Shu army until she met Guan Suo. Guan Suo actually met Bao Sanniang on the way back from Fan Castle when he got knocked off that cliff, and he made his way back to, I believe it was Chengdu, where Liu Bei and stuff was. She met him on the way back and was like, wow, you're impressive. I'm not really sure how that story goes. They don't really go into detail. The research I found didn't really say, and then the games don't really go like, you know, oh, Guan Suo ran into her and they had a battle, and then they, you know, they fell in love or whatever, or she was intrigued because he fought a bear or something. The encounter with Guan Suo sparked some sort of zealous infatuation with him, making her completely devoted to receiving praise from him. And that's clearly evident in her ending in Dynasty Warriors 9. But that's, I mean, I don't really have much else for Bao Sanniang. It's probably one of the shortest episodes I've done for this series. Bao Sanniang is number 76. She's a tomboy-ish kind of military martial artist. She's very skilled. She's one of the few people that kind of believes in herself. It almost comes across cocky at some points where she's like, wow, I can't believe how good am I? I think that was one of her things she says in Dynasty Warriors 9, but I don't really have much else for Bao Sanniang here. Her design throughout the 3 games don't really change. Actually, the first 2 games is more similar to each other than in the 9th one. From the first 2 games, she kind of has like more of a tomboyish, like aerobatic kind of look. She can freely move around. And then in Dynasty Warriors 9, she kind of goes similar to the Guan Suo look, almost that like villager look, like I mentioned in the Guan Suo episode when I was talking about him, how he went from like the fighter look, young fighter look, to like a villager almost. And it's kind of what they did. I think they did that honestly to mimic Guan Suo. So her, looks pretty much stay relatively the same. But yeah, I mean, that's all really. Voice acting is the same, or relatively the same. There's not really much difference or enough impact to where, would upset people who actually like to play as Bao Sanniang. But that's all I have for Bao Sanniang. Number 76 is Bao Sanniang. We're going to be coming up with number 75 here pretty shortly. And I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. If you guys haven't seen any of the other previous episodes, they're in a playlist on my channel under the Dynasty Warriors character analysis series. You can watch them in order, or you can find the character that you like the most and see how they rate among the other Dynasty Warriors characters. But that's all I have for Bao Sanniang here, and I'll get to working on number 75, so that way we can continue on with this list. As we get higher and higher up, we'll be going into more legendary and more popular characters. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.